everyone, and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about another 1v1 rank deck that I'll be making for you guys. Some people pointed out some really great mistakes that I did, and hopefully I can correct those in the future so I can give you guys a better experience and better quality content. So today I want to be talking about Red Dragon Motorized. This is a very popular deck when it comes to ranked and 1v1s, and it's also very popular outside of those decks in team games and such because of how versatile it is and unique in its units and its capabilities. So yeah, I'll go ahead and start making the deck. I have one currently, and that's pretty much what I use in terms of ranked, but I'll build a fresh one for you. This is just a fresh one, and give you guys the ideas, what I think about, what people take, what I think is good, what maybe you should avoid, and stuff like that. So to start off fresh, we'll take this this CV here. This is a I'm not going to say the name, but it's a amphibious transport as well. One thing, it's quick and it's semi-cheap. It's 110, so it's pretty much miles better because it is amphibious. So that's you might think amphibious, don't really need it, but in some situations in ranked you need to cross a river really quick. Something like that. You need to get away something. So this is a really great way to do that. Again, in most ranked games, you're going to want two CVs. So when it comes to taking a CV between either two, it doesn't really matter at all. I will take the this one. The reason being just because it has a longer name and it's easier to read and pick up micro-wise. So between these two cargoes are the same. Usually you want two cards of cargoes, especially in this kind of deck, because you have a lot of usable ammunition like HQ7s and stuff like that, so you're going to want a lot of cargo. So here's the good part. Here's the infantry. This is what everyone's been waiting for, right? So infantry, this is a great part of the deck. This is what everyone strives for when they build Red Dragon Moto. Everything's, you get a great pile, great choices of infantry here. And pretty much what I will take will probably be similar to what other people take as well. I know me and Firestarter, if you don't know who Firestarter is, he's another really good ranked player, probably one of the best players in the game. He's a really great player. He does a lot of Red Dragon videos and stuff like that. Shows you how to play that as well. And we have a pretty similar deck when it comes to Red Dragon Moto. So my take is I don't think I need two cards of Lijing. That's probably one thing people think about. Probably like 90% of the people will take two cards, maybe not, because two cards, I can take it. Look how many more slots I have left. But in the when you think about it, are you really going to use 20 Lijing? No, I mean, not really. If you think you are, then you're probably lying to yourself. But only on like Wansan where I can see the point of you taking 20 Lijing. But here we'll start with Yukjende 90. These guys are super sweet. They're so good. They're almost like your line infantry most of the time. They're 40 points. They have a great RPG with the veteran seat. It's okay. 50% is not too great. But they're very good at fighting other infantry as well, and I really like these guys. They're really sweet. I could see the argument for taking them in the BTR-88. They come at elite, but you only get 7 of them, which isn't great. You're missing out on 3. Do you really want to miss out on a 3? Do you really want the transport and pay the extra I guess 10 points for them, which you could it's always personal preference. Yes, no. Me personally, no. I don't really need the transport too much. It's not it's not gonna really change much, to be honest with you, for me personally. So next would be just taking Lijing and the cheap transport. I don't really need the autocannon. Just take it as cheap as possible. Not really going to use this one because I have Yukjende 90. There's no point in taking this one, really. Next would be Lion Infantry and Gongbyong. Now, Gongbyong is actually really overlooked when it comes to making a deck and making Red Dragon Moto, and I think that's a mistake. I think these guys are really sweet. Now you may be thinking, "Wow, Patton, what did you just say? Gongbyong are good?" I think they're good. Yeah, I think they're elite infantry, right? You can take them at elite. Unfortunately, I can't take them in the B tier 60. We'll make a change actually. We'll do that so we can actually take them in the B tier 60. So there we go. You can take 10 at elite. So if you think about it, 32% accuracy is sitting around 77%, with Gongbyong AT weapon. And this is, wow, the stats started to look better at Elite, right? These guys look pretty sick. They also go 30 off-road, 30 move speed, and they're great. I think they're great. I think people need to try them out. Their AP power is a little bit low, but it's still good enough to damage APCs and stuff like that. So I think they're good. Next would be line infantry. So your choices are between Bo Chong-su and Zanshi 85. Now, the difference between Bo Chong-su and Zanshi, it's 5 points difference. The Zanshi 85 has a different AT weapon. It has pretty much just 6 AP more. That's pretty much the only difference between the two, to be honest with you. And they have the same accuracy, just more AP. So for 5 points, is it really worth the 6 AP? When you think of line infantry, you just want something cheap to guard your flanks and to throw at the enemy. So I'm just going to go with Bo Chong-su. I think that's the best bet there. So we're out of a bit of a predicament here because we can't take, there's only 3 slots available for the B tier 60p, which doesn't really make too much sense, but we have to make a change. So I think we'll just do this. Yeah, I think that's fine. We could, no, I think that's fine. So yeah, we'll take, there we go. So next is Tank Shishaos. These guys are really sweet. They're pretty much a great fist team. They have great range, great AP. If you're not taking these in RD Moto, you're doing it wrong. These guys are really great. Take them veteran and you get them in the auto cannon transport because you get the extra veterancy and auto cannon transport is pretty good. So next is either your choice of flamers or manpads. So when it comes to manpads or flamers, it's pretty much personal preference. Do you think Lai Zhang, are you going to use those all the time, or are you going to use flamers? If you like flamers, then sure. If you like manpads, then go for it. Personally, I don't know. I think I'll take manpads. I don't think I'll need the flamers, but when you look at manpads as well, you're going to make a decision between Igla and QW1. I think that's the main decision. You're not really basing off Strela 2s. So QW1 and Igla, what's the difference? Well, there's practically isn't any besides one HE. That's the only difference here. The QW1 has one HE for 5 points. Now, if you think about it, does the extra HE matter? In some situations it does. Versus planes, sure, it really probably does. Helos 4 or 5, probably. You can do some damage to... unfortunately, I don't really know stats HP-wise of helicopters as much as I used to. But I think taking the QW1 is pretty much a yes. It may 5 points more, but the difference between one shot and two-shotting things is really important. So yeah, I think taking it is pretty good. Next is support. Now, you don't get too many options, but it doesn't really matter. So the only thing you really need here is HQ7s. I'm going to be honest with you guys, HQ7s are completely OP, and you might as well just abuse them while they can, because they are so sweet. 60% of base accuracy, 300 meter range in terms of helos, 70 off-road speed. They're fast, they're quick, they're also wheeled, which is also great, and we can get them at 5 hardened, so that's extra 16% accuracy, so that rounds it out to about 76 base accuracy on the HQ7, and they really don't take much to vet it up to the next level of hardened as well. So you can take 2 cards of them as well, which is super sweet. So you can get 10 of them, and they're so sweet. That's why we have 2 cards of cargos as well, so we can make sure we have enough supplies. Now, the argument for taking this is also valid as well. Do I want the HQ61? Yes or no? And they have good range, yes, but it's just like an HQ7, but they have less range. Excuse me. and they also require a lot of cargo, just like the HQ7. But is it really worth it? You know, if you think about it, would I rather just use HQ7s as my mobile SAM AA? And you know, when I think about it, yeah, I don't think there's a real reason to use these when you have HQ7s being the plane range is definitely different, right? Maybe you could take these, but I've never really taken them because HQ7 just does their job way more better than this does. So maybe in the future we'll be seeing these used, but currently I don't think there's really a point to take these. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just need to try it out a little bit more. Who knows? Pongay 2s, no point in taking those. So for Shokas, or for other AA, excuse me, Shokas is pretty much your best bet. You could take this. I guess those are the only two comparisons you can really make. It's either Shoka or PGZ. The PGZ is radar based, so that's one thing you have to note. It has 2000 meter range for helos, which is great. It also has 7 frontal armor, which is one thing you might not know. But the rate of fire is not too great. The accuracy is pretty good. But when it comes to being radar based, I really don't like it. Because that means I have more stuff I have to micro, and with Red Dragon I don't have to micro my A at all, being all non-radar based. So taking the Shoka and having it vetted is just really great. I don't really want to worry about microing this thing, microing the PGZ. It may be better stats-wise. It has good armor, something like that, but I might need to try it out a little bit further to actually know if it's better than the non-radar Shoka. So, for mortars, we're going to take the North Korean mortar just for smoke. Beware that the North Korean mortar has more ammo, as you can see. Comparison to the North Korean one, it has 9 more rounds. So take the North Korean one. Vetted because I'm not going to use 7 of them. Tanks. So you have some choices in tanks here. It can either be, actually, I guess you don't really have a lot of choices. Pretty much I'll just be taking this one and this one. So this is a cheap 50-point tank. It's really not too great. You know, none of these tanks are really that great, but they're what you have to take in terms of price. They're both decent. There's no really reason to take Chomahos. They have awful accuracy, awful rounds per minute. Yeah, but they have a good gun. I guess they have good AP. But is it better than this? Probably not. This is good accuracy, I guess. So, yeah, I suggest you guys take these. I like these well, I like this one a lot, actually. I think it's pretty good for the price. It's no Leopard, but it's good enough. So, for Recon, we'll take this. Just a nice Exceptional Optics Recon helo. It's fast. It's pretty good. Stealth tank, of course. Take it vetted because you need the extra base accuracy. You get Veteran, so I believe that's like 24%. Yeah, 24% more accuracy. So, yeah, it's really good stealth-wise. Yeah. Next would probably be like this. So we have 1 to helo drop with, and of course vetted because we're not going to use the others. And we have 1 for the ground, for being ground transport when we don't really need to pay the extra for the helo. The helo is just specifically for making sure that we can land some forces behind their base or something in a town, something like that. And there's no really reason to take anything else. No, not really. Vehicles. You're probably going to take 2 cards of these for sure. These guys are really sweet. They have great AP. They're great tank killers. They don't have very good armor, so you want to use these guys. You want to pull them out, take a shot, and then pull them back in. If they hit, great. If they miss, you probably don't want to fight too much with them. But they do have 10 rounds per minute, so that's one thing you want to think about. These guys are great, so take them 2 vetted. They have they're pretty cheap. 65 points is good enough. But again, they're really great at killing other tanks. They're specifically great at killing expensive tanks because of the good AP. Next is probably something like this. So yeah, WZ550, just for being, you probably don't need to vet this actually, but are you going to use 4 of them? No. So just take it vetted. These guys are great. They're fast. They are amphibious. And they have 70% accuracy, 26 AP, so you can use these guys in very specific situations, like on winter or straight to the point. Maybe not Punjang, but they're pretty good. flame tanks for straight to the point and other maps that you might need them in. Helos. So we are not a helo cheeser, so we're not going to take 2 cards of my 25s. We're just going to take 1. What a sweet skin, right? You can find all these skins you see in these videos on. I don't really know which ones I have because I downloaded so many of them. A little off topic, but you can go to the forums, the modding section, and then you can look for different skins. There's a skin directory there. There's a whole bunch of index. So if you want to get these skins I have, you can download them there. We're going to take the Z9A for being just a helo killer. We're going to take it vetted, which we, for some reason, it only deduces 1 for veterancy, but you get 4 of them. They're great, 90 points, great accuracy, great anti-air helo. Next is planes, B5 of course. B5 is really sweet, great plane, great bomber, 15 HP, kind of fast, slow-ish, no ECM, big bomb, so yeah, pretty much a must. Next is probably trying to think here about what I want in terms of planes. Okay, so next is the SU-25K. It's a pretty great plane. It's cheap. It's only 110 points. And it has a lot of missiles, 4 HEGM missiles. It's got a gun, it's armored, and it's fast. So instead of taking a Q5, which actually you could take a Q5D instead, you know. It's always an option to take a Q5D. But you can try either or out. I suggest you do try them out. See which one you like more. I personally like the Q5 and the SU-25 pretty much the same. I think they're both equally the same. They both do their job pretty well. So yeah, another bomber. It's a cheap bomber. It's also super fast, no ECM. It can kill some helos with the missiles and the gun. It's got 1 big bomb, so they're cheap, 80 points, and you can buy all 4 of them, drop a lot of bombs, mix them in with your B5s, you know, do a lot of things. Fable for seed. Fable is not that great. 40% ECM in terms of high-end seed's not very good. But you do get great missiles, pretty good 70% accuracy. They ripple fire, so it's going to take a long time to reload. But it's the only seed you have, so pretty much have to take it. Then the upvetted SK, because you can't take this thing unvetted because it just misses so much. Semi-active is so bad that you kind of have to take them vetted. So yeah, you pretty much have to vet this thing. That pretty much ends the discussion of air. So we have 4 slots, 4 activation points left. So we have so many options of things we can do, right? We can fill Recon, we can fill tanks, we can fill helos, vehicles, all that stuff. So I'm not too sure what we can take. We have a lot of options. We could use a vehicle-based Recon. We have some options here. So I'm not too sure what exactly we could put. We could probably put this in, alright? We could try these out. Which, well, yeah, sure, why not? We could try these out, and now that's our deck. So trying these out, seeing if they're good or not. But yeah, this is a really aggressive deck. We're fast wheeled transports. We're a great skirmishing deck. We have PTZs to kill enemy tanks. We have good planes, great B5, stuff like that. We have stealth tank as well, the ZTQ, to pretty much hide, snipe stuff out. We have great AA. HQ7s are great, cost-effective AA. And our infantry tab is great. We have Lijiang, Gongbyong, and Yukchunjae, great skirmishing infantry. So yeah, I hope I didn't miss anything too much. I want to show you guys some gameplay with this deck and RD Moto, and show you guys how to play it, because it requires a little bit of time and effort to kind of learn how to play things, because you can't really do things like you normally do with other decks. This deck is really unique in what it can do, and you can really do some great things with it. So I hope you guys like this video. in the future, probably put some videos out, some gameplays of this deck, stuff like that. So look forward to that, and I'll see you guys in the next one.